Hello, everybody. I'm Richard Osman. Welcome to the House of Games. All week, I'll be joined by 4 famous faces playing a series of quiz rounds, all in the hope of winning this trophy on Friday. Let's meet this week's players. They are Angela Scanlon, Clive Myrie, Sara Pascoe, and Rick Edwards. Welcome along, everybody. Welcome to the House of Games. Angela, we've presented the One Show together a few times. Yeah. Presumably, you've got lots of specialist knowledge in all sorts of areas from that.
Masses of specialist knowledge.
Who's your biggest competitor this week, do you think, Angela?
I know Edwards is quite a competitive
Edwards.
one.
Yeah.
Surnames already.
Edwards brackets R.
He's one to watch.
Yeah, he certainly is, and not in a good way.
No, not in a good way.
Now, no offence to the other 3 of you, but a bit of class now. A man who reads the news, Clive Myrie, welcome along. Now,
it's great to be here.
Presumably you're super brainy.
You don't have to be brainy to read.
Would you know the difference between Iran and Iraq?
Yes.
See, this guy.
Watch it, guys, watch it.
Sara Pascoe, welcome.
And also know the difference between Iran and Iraq.
Now, we're playing lots of different quiz rounds. You'll be playing against these 3 all week. One of you on Friday will be walking away with this trophy, but we also have daily prizes, and they are quite something. Would you like to have a look at today's daily prizes?
Ooh, yes, please.
Tell us if you fancy anything here.
Wow.
House of Games pillow there. There's a House of Games pasta maker.
The pasta maker, that's really cool, actually.
Clive Myrie's already got his eyes on the pasta maker.
Is that a clock?
That is not a clock.
It's a sundial.
It is not a sundial. It's a dartboard.
It's a dartboard.
That's what happens when you read the news, Angela Scanlon. You see the difference between a
dartboard
and a clock. Rick Edwards, welcome to House of Games.
Thanks for having me, Richard.
Are you a competitive man?
You know I am. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think you're up against some other rather competitive people this week.
I think I am. But I thrive on those kind of conditions.
Pressure is a privilege, right?
Exactly. I've never heard that phrase, but I like the phrase.
Billie Jean King. Shall we play our first game?
Let's.
Now, what happens, I have this button is a game generator. Every time I press it, a new game comes up. I don't know what it's going to be. You don't know what it's going to be. Some of them are quite silly. Some of them are a bit complicated, but they make sense eventually. Shall we play our first game of the week?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's find out what our first game is. Rhyme time, a nice simple one to start with. In this round, I'm going to ask you 2 questions at a time. The answers rhyme with each other. Point for each correct pair of answers. Fingers on buzzers, please. Good luck, everybody. Here's your first question. Line of latitude that passes through Russia, Scandinavia, Greenland, Canada, and the USA. And politician who became Chancellor of Germany in 2005. Sara Pascoe.
Circle and Merkel.
Not enough, I'm afraid. You are locked out. Rick Edwards.
Arctic Circle, Angela Merkel?
Is the correct answer.
Wow.
Well played. I can't help thinking Sara Pascoe did quite a lot of the work for you there.
Yeah.
I'm not here for points, I'm here for respect, and everyone everyone knows I nearly knew it, so...
Let's take a look at your next question. Stage name of the rapper born Curtis Jackson. Title of the Queen's first cousin Edward, born in 1935. That is Rick Edwards.
50 Cent, Duke of Kent?
Is that the right answer? It is, you know. Very well played.
Wow.
Didn't need Pascoe that time either. Just took it on myself.
Because that's one of those ones that takes 2 very different types of knowledge.
Yeah.
You put both of them together. It's very impressive. And the next one, we've got a picture and a piece of music. They rhyme with each other. Who is that? And what is this?
I know a guy who's tough but sweet. He's so bad he can't...
That is Angela Scanlon.
Mahatma Gandhi, I want candy.
Is the correct answer. Very well.
I need candy.
Well done, well done.
Mahatma Gandhi and I want candy. Here's your next question. Korean former Secretary General of the United Nations, and privileged people are said to be born with this in their mouths. Oh, Rick Edwards.
Ban Ki-moon, silver spoon?
Ban Ki-moon, silver spoon. Is it right? It is indeed.
Beautiful.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Can I just check, is my
He's
buzzer
very
working?
quick. Clive, I'm being told your buzzer is working. I'm being told the issue is with you.
Yes.
Good work, Rick Edwards.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Really annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2 pictures.
I thought the idea was to get the answers right.
OK, here is your next one. It's 2 pictures. What are the rhymes here, please? Who is that? That is Sara Pascoe.
2 in Shroud, Girls Aloud.
Sure in Shroud, Girls Aloud is the right answer.
Yes!
Well done.
I'm in it.
Here's your next one. Charlotte Bronte heroine who marries Mr. Rochester. French word for bottom. That is Sara Pascoe.
Jane
again.
Eyre, Derriere.
Jane Eyre, Derriere is the correct answer. Well done. And also, if you could see that in slow motion, the split second you beat Rick Edwards by there was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was lovely to
I have
watch.
a slightly different take on whether it was beautiful or not.
Here is your next question. Fantasy TV drama starring Kit Harington as Jon Snow. US music mogul who produced Michael Jackson's album Thriller. Sara Pascoe.
Are you kidding me?
Game of Thrones, Quincy Jones.
Is the right answer again. It's like this. Here is your last question in this round. It's a picture and some audio. Who is that and what is this?
You could be taking it easy on you.
Rick Edwards.
Nicolas Cage, Road Rage.
Nicolas Cage and Catatonia song Road Rage. It's the correct answer, Rick Edwards. Well played. It was beautiful to watch, wasn't it?
It was fantastic to watch.
Shall we take a look at the scores at the end of the first round?
I think we know where we're going.
yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, shall we look?
This end will have a look, yeah.
First round of the week. Clive Myrie from the news. Slow start.
0.
I'm going to say a slow start.
0.
0 points. Angela Scanlon, 1 point. Sara Pascoe, 3 points. Current leader, Mr. Rick Edwards, with 4 points.
Yay.
Shall we play another round? Hopefully not on the buzzer, this one.
Sure.
Let's see what our next round is going to be. Distinctly average. OK, distinctly average is a pairs game. We always take the person who's in last place. They get to choose their partner. Let me just check, Clive, who's in last place. I'm hearing it's you. Clive, you can choose a partner for this round, who do you want to play with?
I am going to choose...
Oh, no, that's sympathy vote. I feel
No.
like it's a really obvious
No.
sympathy vote. I love it, and the gesture is beautiful.
Oh, Clive.
I feel like you need an edge, a winner's edge, and I'm actually gifting you those two.
You know what? That is classy. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Classy. Look at
There
the
you go.
delight on the faces of Rick Evans
You
and Sara
missed us
Pascoe.
fist bumping.
OK, so this round is going to be Angela and Clive
We've got
versus
this. We've
Sara
got this.
and
We
Rick.
have got
I need you to take your tablets out,
Oh,
please. That's how we're
okay.
going to play this game. What happens here, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You need to write down your answer. We will then take the average for each pair, and the pair who gets closer to the real answer wins a point. So this is the sort of round where you really need to rely on your partner. You could know the answer exactly, and if your partner's way off, you could still lose the
average
points.
So no conferring.
No conferring, please.
Conferring. All right, okay.
No,
You can't do that either.
That counts as
That
conferring.
would be conferring.
OK, here is your first question. What is the record in metres for the deepest manned descent into the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean? That's hard. What do you think at home? If you're sitting next to someone, put down separate answers, see if you can average yours out as well. What is the record in metres for the deepest manned descent into the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean?
There might be someone watching who holds the record.
Yeah, but what if they're sitting next to someone who hasn't got a clue?
Exactly.
Then the average suddenly is, oh, you
Welcome
can
to my
still
world.
lose.
Crazy, yeah. Yes, well,
Has
yeah.
everybody written down an answer? Angela Scanlon, how many metres have you gone with?
1,263.
1,263 metres. Clive, what have you gone
Okay,
with?
I've got 1,400 metres.
Oh, that's pretty close.
We're
That's
in
pretty
sync
close.
now.
Yeah,
We're
you
in
are in
sync.
sync.
See?
That's nice. Let's take a look at your average. 1,334.5 metres. Sara Pascoe, what have you gone for?
I've gone for slightly higher, 1,600
1,600.
metres.
There's a lot of consistency between these answers.
Yeah.
1,600 metres. Oh, I believe we have what we call an outlier.
Yeah.
Outlier. Yes.
I've just got a lot more faith in our divers. That's all. I've gone
Oh,
Yeah.
152
Right.
metres.
1,900 feet. Yeah, that's fine. Let's take a look at your average. Sarah and Rick, you've gone 1,776 metres.
that's nearly 2 kilometres.
It does go down a long way, though. What is the record in metres for the deepest manned descent into the Pacific Ocean? 10,911.
I had nowhere near enough faith.
That's amazing. It was by the US Navy in the Challenger Deep section of the Mariana Trench in 1960. Very well done if you got near that at home. Should we take a look at our next one? Yes. According to the Office for National Statistics, how many people aged 20 to 34 were living with their parents in the UK in 2016? Lots of parents at home will be going, too many. Too many of them is the answer I put. Certainly a lot more than there used to be, I think. Everybody got an answer? Let's find them out. Angela Scanlon, what have you said? 5.8 million. Clive, you happy with your partner's answer?
Not entirely. Now that I can
I haven't
see
got a
his.
clue.
What have you gone with?
I've gone with a bit less.
1.6 million. A bit
Right.
less. But your average, actually, somewhere in the middle. Might not be too bad. You have gone for 3.7 million. 20 to 34-year-olds
sounds
living
good,
with
doesn't
their
it?
parents. You like that, Sarah?
I'm jealous of that number.
What have you written?
I've gone higher than even Angela, 6 million.
6 million,
Yeah.
says Sara Pascoe. Rick Edwards, what have you gone with?
4.4 million.
4.4 million. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I think there's 70 million people. How many of them are 20 to 34?
Oh, at that age, yeah.
Let's take a look at your average, Sarah and Rick. 5.2 million. Feels like that's a bit high.
Yeah, but then I feel like it's going to be a surprising answer.
Yes,
Oh, maybe.
yes,
It is
exactly.
high.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Shall we take a look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The number of 20 to 34-year-olds living with their parents is 3.3 million. Very well played.
Well done.
Angela and Clive.
Well done.
Teddy, Clive knows how to choose a partner.
He
doesn't
does.
Bang on,
He does.
brother.
Very
Bang on,
nicely
brother.
done. Here's your last question in this round. According to figures issued by the Department of Transport at the end of March 2016, there were how many vehicles licensed for use on roads in Great Britain? All types of vehicle: cars, motorbikes, light and heavy goods vehicles, buses, coaches,
The full shebang.
the full shebangs. This feels like the sort of one you should be able to have a guess at, doesn't it? I don't know why it feels like
think.
that, but... OK, everyone got an answer?
Yes.
Let's see where we are. Angela Scanlon, what have you gone for?
38 million.
38 million. So, yeah, why not, right? OK, Clive, are you a long way from your partner?
I've gone for 3 million.
One of us is way out.
I've gone completely the other way.
So your reasoning
Yes,
was there
I've got.
are
I thought
70 million
it
people,
just seemed like too many.
but
It
then there's
felt
lots
like a
of
hell of a
coaches
lot
and
too
buses as
many.
well, so I'll go for 3
No,
million.
no. Then I thought buses, coaches. No.
Okay, so 3 million, says Clive Myrie. Who knows? Maybe. Let's take a look at your average. He's dragged you down a little bit here,
Yeah,
Angela, I'll be
just
honest
a
with you.
tad.
20.5 million vehicles. Sara Pascoe, have you gone for 3 million?
I've gone for just a bit more, 36
36 million.
million.
Very close to Angela.
Yes, very close to Angela. where I
Have you
like to
gone
be.
close to Clive, Rick? I'm guessing
No,
not.
I've gone quite close to Sarah.
Oh, really?
Yes. Ever heard the phrase 44 million vehicles?
No.
Interesting. I
Have
had
now.
not
Oh, I've
until
never
this
heard
point.
that. Clearly.
What, who says it?
I do.
Rick Edwards, yeah.
In this
You know,
round.
let's take a look at your average. 40 million.
Ooh,
40
Feels
million.
solid, though, that, doesn't
It
it?
does feel
That
solid.
looks like
I think 3 million is too few.
too few.
That's
Yeah,
honestly my
you think?
thinking. Lots of buses, aren't there?
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
lots.
coaches,
Coaches, yeah.
Trucks.
Trucks.
motorcycles.
Yeah.
that's what I can think of.
Motorcycles,
Loads
yeah,
of
there's
motorcycles,
motorbikes.
yeah.
Vans?
Vans.
Oh,
Yeah.
vans.
Good work, Rick.
Vans.
Welcome to Name Vehicles with Richard Osman. Let's take a look at the answer. How many vehicles were licensed for use on roads in Great Britain in 2016? 36,700,000. Sarah Pascoe for a start.
Very good.
Sarah,
Even drive a car.
you were literally 700,000 out. Clive, you were
Very
33,700,000 out. Very well played, and the point there goes to Sarah and Rick.
Well done.
Shall we take a little look at the scores after that
Yes,
round?
please.
Clive on 1 point, Angela Scanlon on 2, Sara Pascoe 5, still in the lead by 1 point, Mr. Rick Edwards on 6 points. Come on, Clive and Angela, we can do this. I can feel round 3.
We can do this, Andrew.
Yeah.
This is where it's going to happen. Let's take a look at our next game. Broken karaoke. OK, we have a karaoke machine on this show, but unfortunately, it is broken. Strictly speaking, we should have fixed it, but we have not done that, so we're going to have to go ahead with this round anyway. What we're going to do is show you part of a well-known song, but because the karaoke machine is broken, we're only going to show you the first letter of each word, OK? You just have to buzz in and tell me what these songs are. Let's take a look at your first one. It is a song from 1977. What is this song, please? I haven't got that at all, have you?
No.
Some people at home are so smug right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be checking out www.rye.com.
Shall we take a listen to hear what
Yeah.
it is? Really?
What's the SI in brackets?
Sing it.
Sing it.
Sing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everybody. kidding me?
Embarrassing.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Goodness me. Let's forget that ever happened.
Yeah.
Next
Next
one.
one.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Gloss over.
This is a song from 1983.
Okay.
Every breath you take.
I wonder what Rick Edwards is going to say. Rick?
Every breath you take.
Every breath you take is the right answer. Well done. Let's have a little listen. Absolutely. Very, very well done. I think we've all heard enough of that song now. Let's move on to the next one. What's this song, please? From 1964. Comes up in the rhythm of the song as well, so quite a fast one. Ooh. That is Clive Myrie.
You really got me.
You really got me by the Kinks. Well played,
Give me a
Clive.
point. Give me a point.
Let's have a little listen.
Yeah, you really got me.
Go. See, it comes up in the rhythm of the song.
Yeah.
Lovely, well played, Clive. Here is your next song, 2004. What is this song, please? Rick Edwards.
I predict a riot.
It's the correct answer. Let's take a listen. I predict a riot by the Kaiser Chiefs. We'll do one more of these. Here is your last one from 1981. Clive Myrie.
Oh, Vienna.
Vienna by Ultravox is the right answer. Let's have a listen.
I've never heard this song. This song's not
Never
real.
heard that song?
I've never heard it either.
Wait a minute. You have never heard Vienna by Ultravox?
No, this is the year I was born. I was
See-
busy being a baby.
Miss Euro is sitting at home now crying.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
The guy?
Yeah.
I know him from a James Corden joke about being with George Cheddar. That's the only reason I know who he is.
Oh, shall we take a look at the scores at the end of that
No,
round?
let's just delete that round.
Come on, we all have our specialities, Sarah.
Chin
I
up,
know
Sarah.
that. Let's take a look at where we are.
Oh,
2
dear,
points for
I've been
Angela.
over it.
Clive Myrie, 3 points. We're going up the line. Sarah Pascoe, 5. Oh, he's got an annoying 3-point lead. Rick Edwards, 8 points.
Well done, matey.
2 rounds to go. Let's see what we're playing next. Where is Kazakhstan? Now, don't panic. You don't have to find out where Kazakhstan is. This is simply a game. You take out your tablets, and I'm going to show you a map.
Nice.
Okay? Now, yeah. See, now Sarah Pascoe's happy.
Yeah, I like it.
smile's
Pin the tail on the donkey with the
Ex-
tablet and geography.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Pin the tail
Hill
on the
tail on the
geography.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Pin the tail on the Denmark. Exactly
Yeah.
right. I'm going to show you a map, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You just need to point to where you think they are, please. The map you're going to see today is this. A map of Europe.
This is going to be deeply humiliating, isn't it?
Listen, it'll only be deeply humiliating if, say, you present the news. Otherwise, you'll be fine. Otherwise, you'll be fine. Shall we take a look at the first thing I need you to find for me? The venue of the 2017 Eurovision Song Contest Grand Final. That's a real mix of highbrow and lowbrow. The venue of the 2017 Eurovision Song Contest Grand Final. It's hard, this, isn't it? Because you have to know
Yeah.
or get lucky. Angela, firstly, what city do you think it was in?
I think it was in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting,
sounds
interesting.
about
And
right.
let's see where you put
Oh.
Ukraine. That is Angela. Clive. Did you? Where did you think it was?
I thought it was
supposed to be?
Ukraine as well.
Okay. And where have you put it? Let's take a look.
Oh.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. He reads the news.
Yeah.
True.
Does.
Be
Stop
embarrassing.
reminding me.
Mind you, Clive, you know what? Ukraine hasn't really been in the news recently, has it?
No, not really. No, not at all.
To be fair, the news is a content-driven show. It's not like maps pointing. People assume you know,
Yes.
that you know.
No, they never show maps on the news. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Sarah, where did you think it was
Well,
held?
I didn't know, did I?
OK.
The reason I had a problem with the last round is I don't like music.
Yes.
It's also I've never seen this stupid competition.
OK.
So I don't know where they held it. I don't know who won it. I guessed it was the middle of Europe, like the centre.
See where Sarah's gone? OK.
What country is it?
You're kind of in the middle of Poland.
Oh, lovely.
Rick Edwards, did you know the answer?
No, so I just put it in somewhere roughly in the middle and I went slightly to the top.
Let's see where
Don't
Rick
know if
went.
that helps.
That's sort
Where
of
is that?
Lithuania-y sort
Yeah,
of.
actually,
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
sort of what I had
Baltic
in my
country,
mind.
yeah.
Yeah, you've gone Baltic.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was the Ukraine, held in Kiev. Let's see who was closest. Surely Clive Myrie.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you one thing for definite, it's not Clive. I mean, Clive is sort of kind of Azerbaijan, I would say, down there. The other three of you,
But as
they have
Clive
measured,
knows-
and we have a winner.
OK, let's do
It's Angela.
Angela, yes.
I think that's right and proper.
Well done, Angela. Well
You, the
done.
right country, got the right country.
Well done.
A deserved point there.
Yeah.
Let's
Thank
take a look
you.
at our
Thank you.
next one. Where would you have to go if you wanted to look at the famous statue known as the Venus de Milo?
Yeah.
Where, yeah. Pascoe's all over this one.
Oh. I'm just really confused about which one's which country.
Oh, yeah,
Because I
that
know
won't
exactly where it is,
Yeah.
but I'm confused.
OK, Angela, firstly, where do you think it might be, and then we'll see where you
I was
placed it.
torn, but I went for Italy.
Let's see where Angela's gone. Right down the bottom of Italy. Clive, where did you think it was?
Yeah, I was thinking Italy as well.
See where Clive has gone. OK, Sarah, in your view, where is it?
In the Louvre in Paris. So I've put France, where I really hope France is.
OK,
I
so,
really hope it's France.
oh, yeah.
I hope it's Germany.
So you know where the Venus de Milo is. France, you're less sure of. I don't want to spoil any jeopardy, but that looks like France to me. Rick Edwards, where did you think it was?
Back on the old country caterpillar.
Italy.
Me, yeah.
There we go. So, Sarah, if it is in Paris, yeah, I mean, you're going to be closest. Are you doubting yourself now?
Of course I am.
Let's take a look. Where is the Venus de Milo?
Yeah.
Sarah. How about that? Should we do another one?
Why not?
Yeah.
Where's this, please? The tourist attraction Bran Castle, popularly known as Dracula's Castle. Where's Dracula's Castle? There's whole bits of Europe where we get a little bit lost, I think.
Yeah.
The tourist attraction Bran Castle, popularly known as Dracula's Castle. What do you think at home? We're assuming it's Transylvania, wherever that is, right?
Wherever
Yeah.
that is, yeah.
That's my thought. Angela, where have you gone? Let's take a look.
Yeah.
You've gone. So you've gone. You've gone in Africa.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
It
I'm
still
sorry.
might be nearest if
It's
everyone
a-
else is
it-
further
It's a
away.
different
It might
continent.
still be nearest. You're in Algeria.
Algeria, yeah.
Clive, are you in Europe? Let's take a look.
You never know with Clive.
It's going to be a surprise.
Please be in Africa too.
Okay.
It's a bit too far.
I think it might be a bit too far.
too far
I think it
south.
may be kind of Romania. You're kind of in Bulgaria there, so it's
Yeah.
not a million miles out.
Yeah.
Sarah, where have you gone?
I'm really doubting now because I was, aiming for Romania.
Interesting. Rick Edwards, where have you gone?
Same kind of thing as Sarah, actually. I went for one of those ones in the middle, you know.
Okay, interesting.
Kind of
Good.
idea.
You're both sort of Czech Republic-y area.
Yeah.
Clive, you're kind of Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Angela,
Further off.
Algeria.
Yeah.
So, you never know. Maybe he travelled.
Yeah.
Shall we see who is
dear.
closest? Where is Bran Castle, also known as Dracula's Castle? Clive Myrie. Very well done.
Very good, Clive.
Very well done. It's in the south of Romania. You were in Bulgaria. You win the point. Clive Myrie,
done.
everybody.
Well done.
Very nicely done. Good round for you there. Let's take a look at where that leaves the scores. 1 round to go. Angela, 3 points. Clive, 4. Sarah, 6. 2-point lead, leading into the final round. Loads of points to play for, though. Mr. Rick Edwards, our current leader.
Yeah. Quite a thin clap still.
OK, let's play our final round. It's always the same, and it is... Answer smash. Now, on this, I'll give you 2 questions, and the answers smash into each other. So, for example, if I showed you a picture of my face and I asked you for a fruity relish from the Indian subcontinent, you would say Richard Osman chutney. OK? So that's what I need. I need one answer smashed together. Okay?
Love it.
1 point for every correct answer. If you buzz in and give me an incorrect answer, you lose a point. And there are very, very few points in this.
What was the phrase? Pressure is a privilege.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Let's take a look at your first category. Musical instruments. On each of these, we will show you a picture of a musical instrument. There will then be a clue underneath. Please smash the answers together. Here's your first one. Which famous fictional character created by Edgar Rice Burroughs first appeared in print in 1912? Clive Myrie.
Sitashi.
It is not Sitashi, I'm afraid. Anybody? It is Sitarzan.
Tarzan.
Sitarzan was the answer. Here's your next question. Picture and a clue. Which actress played Tracy Stubbs in the sitcom Birds of a Feather?
I know what it is.
That is Sara Pascoe.
Violinda Robson.
It is indeed. Very well played. Violinda Robson, very well played. Here is your next musical instrument and clue. Which US politician served as vice president to Barack Obama? That is Rick
Banjo Biden.
Edwards. Is that right? It is indeed Banjo Biden. Well played. Here's your next category. TV presenters.
Oh, hello.
That'll be the picture. There'll be a clue underneath. Smash them together, please. What term denotes a figure of speech that contains contradictory words next to each other? That is Sara.
Brian Coxymoron.
It's the right answer, I'm sure. Brian Coxymoron.
That's fun.
Here's your next one. What two-word term for a street musician who plays a type of musical instrument can be used informally to mean somebody in control of another person? Sara.
Piers Morgan grinder.
Piers Morgan grinder is the correct answer.
Every time I say it, I don't doubt
Very
it.
good. Here's your next one. Who's this and what's the answer to the clue? Which video game with versions named Black Ops and World at War was first released in 2003? Rick Edwards.
Davina McCall of Duty.
Davina McCall of Duty. Right answer. Very well done. Here's your next category. This is close, by the way. Primates. The name of which style of ballroom dance completes the well-known saying, "It takes two to..." That is Rick Edwards.
Orangutango.
Is that right? It is the orangutango. Well done. And that
Done.
brings us to the end of our first show. You're with us all week, but we have our first daily winner. Shall we see who it is? It is Mr. Rick Edwards by 2 points. Very well played.
Quite the lead.
Very well played. So, Rick, you are today's winner, which means you get to choose your prize. What would you like?
I will. It's difficult because I do like the dartboard, but I think I'm going to go dressing gown.
You're going to go dressing gown?
Yeah.
Rick Edwards, everybody, wins a House of Games dressing gown. That was good. Let's take a look at where the weekly leaderboard stands. It's a very early stage. Clive and Angela both have 2 points. Sara with 3, Rick Edwards with 4. I will see all of you tomorrow. I will see all of you tomorrow as well on the House of Games. Goodbye.